On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are back in the shop with my Land Rover, the 1 of 150 Kalahari edition. And today, we gotta figure out why it tries to flip and roll into a ditch whenever I hit the brakes. It's very sketchy to drive. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and like I said, this is my 2002 Land Rover Discovery 2 Kalahari edition. And in the last video, of course, we replaced this glass, and I still have some of the tape up there, but it's about time to untape this window and let it breathe. It needs to live its life and be unrestrained. But that's not the problem we have to solve today either. The problem we need to solve today is, why does it pull so hard to the right that it almost tries to roll the vehicle? I mean, every time you stab the brakes, the front passenger wheel locks up. It doesn't make any sense. Now, of course, when we first picked this thing up, if you guys remember our troubleshooting, it was basically out of coolant. It was basically out of brake fluid. The brake light was on. It was incredibly upset. So we can kind of assume that brake fluid's going somewhere. And I think it's coming out of the passenger side wheel braking system. I just don't know where. So the thing we have to do today is figure out what parts we need to fix this thing. And of course, like we saw in that first video, we have some other parts we're gonna order, like a new coolant reservoir and you know, maybe brake hoses, maybe brake calipers, maybe all the brakes. I don't really know how bad this is. So let's jump in here and start taking a look at the Land Rover. First things first, we're gonna get it up in the lift, but now that it's been driven, take a look at those brakes. They look pretty cool. These are drilled, slotted. Somebody went in here and did replace all the brakes, and I don't think it was even that long ago. There's no lip. They just don't look great, right? There's no lip. I guess the slots are pretty deep. I didn't think they were when I was looking at it, but it feels like the slots might actually be okay. So let's figure out what's going on with this wheel, or is there just brake fluid leaking out somewhere underneath this thing? Because like I said, it's going somewhere. Either the brake fluid went somewhere or all of the pads on this thing are 100% gone, which is a possibility. There's a chance they changed the rotors and left the pads, but I hope it's a slim possibility. All right, let's go. And yes, I am planning on cleaning up the safari guards and the brush guard in the front. I know everybody's asking about it, so I'm planning on fixing all of that. I pulled this thing further forward than I normally would, but that is absolutely sketchy. I don't like lifting this one bit. I think we might be leaving it at this level. There's just no good lift points. You have to lift at the control arm mounts here, these ladder arms, because you can't go further back on the frame. I don't love that one bit. Time to do some sketchy doo-dah. That's about where we're leaving it. Okay, even when you let go of the lift, it bounces. That's where we're leaving it, right there. Hopefully that's enough to get under this thing. I was gonna jump right into the brakes, but a lot of people keep asking about the rear end, if it's rusted out. I honestly don't think there's any actual rust on this thing. It looks very nice. So here's the inspection for you guys that keep asking. I mean, this stuff is all super solid. There is definitely no like actual rust back here anywhere. In the rear cradle, what a frame. I mean, this thing's body on frame, but that's like a 5-inch tube holding this frame together. It's actually super, super solid. Kind of impressed. And this does not have, so this, it should be all Old Man Emu. I just can't tell what that shock is right there. But this stuff all looks beefy. Beefier than I ever expected. Oh, that's what the shock says, nitro charged. Sport. All right, cool. And it's got a micro guard oil filter on it, so somebody went to O'Reilly's. I love that. So we're seeing all good things here. Big old balancer on that rear drive shaft there. T-case, and maybe the trans fluid. It's either leaking or somebody changed it, one of the two. And let's see what we got going on with the brakes here, because that's our real problem. It looks like that lower ball joint there is about shot. Obviously the tires are toast. And I don't see brake fluid everywhere, which is honestly surprising. I thought we were just gonna see brake fluid all over. But you know what? It kind of looks like, it looks like that's all brake fluid. Let's go take a look. That's brake fluid. It's on the floor. I think our testing methodology here should be starting it up, putting it in drive, because it should be in four-wheel drive all the time, right? All-time four-wheel drive. And then stepping on the brake and seeing what happens. Because maybe the passenger side brake's working perfectly and the driver one's not working at all. And if you look right in here, everything is soaked. I mean, absolutely soaked. There should not be that much brake fluid in a wheel well. And I don't know if it's all brake fluid, but might be. Okay. Do we think it's brake fluid? I think so. It looks like fresh brake fluid. That's kind of weird, guys. Are the knuckles interchangeable? Because it kind of looks like they are. We have another leak here, which could be coolant. I don't know. We should have got under it last time, I guess, but a lot of leaking going on under this Land Rover. And I'm really starting to think all this leaking is this hose on the driver's side. All right, Jackson's here to help us out, guys. This is extremely sketchy, right? If we just, look at this. Look how much.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
It's so sketchy. This thing was not meant to be lifted. It was meant to be on a four-post. So if you would, step on the brakes for me here, and we're gonna see. Let me grab a light. All right, go for it. Let's see if fluid dumps out of this thing. Nothing's happening. I mean, I see a bunch of fluid right here on the bottom of this hose, but it's not increasing. You're all the way down? How about this? Let's start it up and then see if the brakes even work. Oh, look at that. There's a ton of it on the bottom of the reservoir too. I think the reservoir's leaking. Yeah, maybe it's a bad master too. Go ahead, fire it up. Wow, that is flying. Oh, this one didn't stop at all. All right, off the brake. On the brake. Off the brake. And then back on the brake. All the way to the floor. Oh, so dude, it's flying and it won't stop. And so is the back one. All right, let me put more brake fluid in and see if we fix that. All right, Jackson's pumping the brakes and nothing's happening here. This is actually really weird. Look at that one, works perfect. No wonder this wheel locks up. Okay. We don't have any brake here. And over here. Wow, so we have offset brakes.
One on each side.
I guess that's good, right? That should keep you from dying.
It'll kind of keep it straight because you don't have one pulling you off one way.
The diagonal braking system. Well, thank you. I think that's what I needed to see. The rest of it, I just have to start tearing things apart. Yep. But it looks like I might be replacing everything. All right, guys, we decided to go ahead and try to bleed this driver front. So go ahead and step on it if you would. I actually got fluid, but like, it's just dribbling out. Nothing for real. Okay, it's closed. Go ahead and step on it a couple times maybe. I'm just not getting any pressure up here. No, just a dribble. Try it again. It honestly sounds like you're not pumping anything at all, you know? Yeah, all the way to the floor every single time I hear it. Okay, I'm gonna open it. Nothing. All right, I'm gonna try the rear. But that one seems like it's fully dead. All right, go ahead and step on it. Man, I think it's a dead master, just the way it sounds, you know? I literally got like a dribble. Maybe pump it one more time. Man, now we have like a flow, but it's not a pump. Give it a couple more if you would. Okay, I'm gonna open it. No pressure at all. Yeah, I think that's it. It's gotta be either all the hoses failed at once or the master's bad. Well, yeah, thanks, man.
The pedal doesn't like slowly bleed off.
No, it sounds like it's just flopping to the floor.
Yeah,
It sounds
even when you
terrible.
crack that bleeder, it doesn't slowly let down. It's
Yeah.
just that master has to be shot.
Bad
so,
sign. Bad sign.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Well, guys, huge shout out to Jackson for saving us in the middle of the night there. I needed somebody to pump the brakes, and I couldn't like pump the brakes and be under the car at the same time. So it's a little bit of a problem. That all worked out really, really well. Now, we know that I really think it's got to be the master. And honestly, it's like it was leaking under the master as well, which is kind of weird. I've never seen that before. It looks like you can replace the tank on top, but like it's completely full of brake fluid. I checked. So I don't actually think it leaked there. I think maybe all the seals in the master went at the same time. I don't know. So originally I was planning on doing hoses. I figured this thing's old. The hoses probably failed, but maybe they're not. Maybe the hoses are okay. Maybe our calipers are okay. I think we need to start at the very beginning of the braking system first, swap out the master, and continue from there. Now, let's take a look at the cooling system. In the first video, of course, we took a look at this and filled everything up with coolant, and it seems like it's actually holding coolant. Let's see. It looks like the coolant level's all the way down there, and it was all the way up at the top. So we have more to look into. Looks like it was leaking right there. And we know that this is like something somebody made aftermarket, and they do sell this line. Obviously they sell the coolant bottle. It looks like a lot of people change these to aluminum coolant bottles. I don't know where to find those, of course, but I have seen other Disco 2s with an aluminum tank right here so that you don't end up with this, right? That's bad. So I think we got to order coolant reservoir, and then this line, because it looks like it's leaking. And it honestly kind of looks like it's leaking right here too, based on what we were seeing. This is the rest of that line. It runs all the way underneath there. Somebody replaced it all with hose. And we'll have the cooling system figured out as well. So I am off to order some parts. That's our update on the Disco 2. We've got the glass in, right? We've figured out what's wrong with it, I hope. We got to fix a couple little coolant leaks, and I really, really hope it's not a head gasket. And we're gonna pressurize it and check all that out once we have a new plastic reservoir so that we don't blow that thing apart. I like being able to drive it right now, and well, right now it drives. So that's the update on the Land Rover. I was hoping it was just a brake bleed, but apparently it's much worse than that, and honestly, it's kind of funny that the wheels are breaking in a diagonal. And with that said, we're on to the Camaro, but not tonight. We're on to the Camaro tomorrow when I should have the transmission back for it. So we're gonna get the transmission back, put this thing back together and take it for its first drive. But again, the brakes, right? We know that this drum here is cracked. Yeah, look at that. Big old crack in that drum. So luckily O'Reilly's just carries these parts. I don't have to go somewhere exotic like you do with Land Rovers. Everything's in stock and you can just go get it whenever you want. So I think we're gonna do a rear main tomorrow. I think we're gonna do that drum so that it doesn't explode when we go brake for the first time. And then of course we have to change all the brake fluid in the whole car. We gotta do it all. So we'll get fresh brake fluid in this thing. Obviously we have fresh fuel because the entire fuel system's new. And then we'll have a new transmission and a new rear main seal and an oil change, which means we'll basically have a new car. So the Camaro, hopefully, is driving this weekend. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. It is time. Man, the tape gets wet every single time this thing goes outside for 5 minutes. Doesn't even make sense. And this is some really sticky tape.